All right, guys, it's Fusion Fantasy Football. I'm Joshua, your host, and it's time for next week tonight, week 7. Welcome to next week tonight. So, what we do here next week tonight is I keep you a full week ahead of the competition. We're looking at players to stream for next week, we're looking at players to add before they break out this week. And we're looking at trades to be making, when we can catch those waves of the schedule or anything else a full week before everyone else has already clued into it. You can make the move and let them figure out why next week. So I like to go back to what I had for the previous week, week 6, so you can maybe get some use out of these streamers or maybe some of these ads. So that's what we're going to do right now real quick and then get into week 7. So first off, we got to look at the streamers. Okay, so we have Ben Roethlisberger as I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, playing the Browns. I think everyone's clued into this matchup, so I'm not going to belabor it. Kirk Cousins versus the Falcons, same idea. I like Keyshawn Vaughn versus the Packers, especially Fournette, who may still be questionable. So the receiving work could go to Vaughn. Swift, he already has that receiving role versus the Jaguars. I like all these guys. Keelan Cole, really under the radar, playing the Lions. I had already picked out, Claypool or Washington against the Browns last week. That's why Claypool was an ad last week. Then he broke out. So you should already have him. All right, then I got Christian Kirk playing the Cowboys. I'm still staying on him. He's doing stuff, good stuff, and more. Just going back to that Brown well. Dolphins versus the Broncos is a pretty interesting matchup. I think a lot of people have already figured that out by now, but it was not obvious last week, especially with just perception of the Dolphins and how their matchups had been. All right, let's also look at the players I'm saying to add. Of course, Vaughn was on that list. You'll see some repeats here with the streamers. But Ford, Chase Claypool, Damiere Byrd is one I like. They were on bye last week unexpectedly, the Patriots, but they're coming back this week, and he gets forgotten. David Moore. Donald Parham is a tight end. He didn't really actually end up doing much in that matchup. It really was a Hunter Henry game like it should have been, but there was a chance that it would go the other way. So we also got who I was saying to trade. Again, it was just Vaughn across the board. N'Keal Harry, same idea with the Patriots. Todd Gurley. I know a lot of people really don't like him, and I heard exactly what I was saying last week about how you should find the person who owns them, and maybe they're fearful and they are like, oh, he had a good game. Now's my chance to get out on him, and they're going to be willing to trade him. I heard that exact same suggestion from multiple podcasts talking about how you should sell Todd Gurley. That's why I'm here to take the other side of that and say, take advantage of that. You should be buying him. And Myles Gaskin, because he's just going to continue being good. I had a really brief scare there where I was pretty sure that because I just traded for Myles Gaskin, Le'Veon Bell was of course going to go Miami. It came down to Miami or the Chiefs, and he went to the Chiefs. Amazing. I thought that was it. I thought I was done. All right. Then I was going to say, if you're a contender, you can get Chris Godwin. News is already out now that he's probably playing this week, so he's bounced back. Back in people's minds, value goes up. Liquidate Jerick McKinnon. Ooh, I really hope you sold him because he disappeared as soon as Mostert came back. All right, let's look at week 7. The bye weeks for week 7 are the Vikings, the Dolphins, the Colts, and the Ravens. So you want to keep that in mind. Think about who you have on your teams from those teams. But specifically, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing we're going to need some quarterback streamers for sure and some running backs, oddly enough. So let's see what we can find. I like Teddy Bridgewater playing the Saints. They are if you see that QB3, that means they're giving up the third most points to quarterbacks as of now. So I like that matchup. That's not going to include the week 6 stats, of course, but we have a decent size sample by now. The Jets QB, I initially put Flacco down, but there's a chance Darnold will be back by week 7, maybe even 6, but by week 7. I kind of like this game. It's a division game. The Bills defense is good, but I still think for some reason they're giving up points to quarterbacks, obviously, so why not? DeAndre, not Drew, Swift versus the Falcons. They're giving up 7 most to running backs. Repeat there. He was last week too. So sometimes that happens, and you should just add them the first time around, and then you'll have them each time I say to stream them again. And the first one I name at the position is going to be the one I'm more confident in. So Teddy Bridgewater, Swift. But Jamal Williams playing the Texans, he's going to be out there in a lot of your leagues. And he's getting enough work. I know Aaron Jones seems to get all the points, but he's not getting much more than a 50% actual opportunity share. Jamal Williams is a decent dice roll if you just need someone to play, that you can get those touchdowns. Wide receiver. So Marvin Jones is playing the Falcons next week. Everyone's going to see that. Everyone's going to sign right back up for that. But right now, Marvin Jones is getting cut in a lot of places in a lot of leagues. So go ahead and look. He has not looked very good, but there's a lot of possibly good reasons for that he could rebound against the Falcons. T. Higgins, he was the guy who was saying add weeks ago. He's got that wide receiver 2 position kind of locked up, taking it over from A.J. Brown even. Playing the Browns. Yeah, play the Browns. Tight end Gerald Everett, going back to that, playing the Bears. There's really not a matchup thing here. I just like Gerald Everett. He was playing like we saw him at the beginning of the season last year. That's not what I saw him out of him this last week. I'm going to go back to it until people start taking him serious. Logan Thomas playing the Cowboys. A little more just going for the big game. And Drew Sample, I think that, not samples, we have a decent sample size of sample. And it's not that great, but he does pretty well in games where the defense can shut down other parts of that offense, and it results in those high target games for Drew Sample. That's what I'm going for with this one. All right, pre-week 6, who do you want to be adding? You must add Gabriel Davis. John Brown was out last week. So, again, follow me on Twitter, @FusionFFB. I said it before the game. As soon as you saw John Brown was inactive last week, you got to get in on him. And all his numbers, all his opportunities at least, went way up. The result was decent, but I think it got you about 10 points in PPR. But, I mean, they only scored 16 points. It was a bit of a rough game. That Titans defense slows things down. Against the other opponents, that's going to look a lot better. Damiere Byrd is on the list again. Vaughn is on the list again. I'm not going to say why again. That's out of order. I don't care. LaMichael Pirine. Bell is out of town. He's the rookie. I don't really believe coach speech, but I have no reason to doubt when Gase and other coaches say that they want to see what Pirine has, because that's what they should be doing. It just makes sense. I would be doing this regardless what they were saying, but it's good that they're saying it too. You should add KJ Hamler of the Broncos. So Locke is coming back. That's going to be good for him. I know Fant is coming back too. I would have loved to see Locke with Hamler, or rather Hamler with Locke without Fant, but still he can take over that wide receiver 2 position. Although Tim Patrick did flash, he could be an add too, but he probably already has been after that big game a couple weeks ago. Jalen Guyton, a little bit on the radar guy here for the Chargers, but if Herbert starts letting it loose, letting it fly, or Mike Williams gets hurt, landing on his back from 4 feet horizontal in the air, then Guyton could pay out. And then for Dynasty, this is a guy that I think could be, even on your Dynasty teams, could be out there on waivers. KJ Hill, also the Chargers, because, again, same idea, but KJ Hill is a bit of a speedster, deep option. That's who Herbert could start slinging it out there too. Okay. trades. So I'm not down on Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not out on Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm down on him a little bit, but he's got some better matchups coming once he gets healthy. Now is, I think, the best time to buy him cheap in like your super flex leagues. This isn't a one quarterback move, obviously. Christian Kirk, again, he's establishing himself tied for targets with Hopkins last week. He's playing, he's got some good matchups coming up, both week 6 and week 7. Go ahead and get him. Calvin Ridley. I talked for a lot more detail on this on the podcast about why I'm not entirely buying in on Calvin Ridley's supposed breakout year 3 when he's only scoring 6 more points than he scored in the first 5 games of his rookie season. We know how he did that in his rookie season. Are we looking at how he's doing it in his 3rd season? I'm just saying it should be more than just 6 more points with the volume he is getting if he is truly a number 1. I don't think he is. The true number 1, he's been hurt, but the King's going to return. Julio Jones is going to be back here, which is why you should buy him in a redraft setting now. You should absolutely buy him now while he's cheap. He's not going to stay hamstrung all season. Go get him. Ridley is the 2. He's still going to have a great. I predicted he was going to be somewhere around wide receiver 16, 14. Keep an eye out for on the the RSS, the wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm going to be doing a podcast kind of evaluating all my projections and doing a lot of things like I just talked about with Ridley, but for a lot of more players, kind of a rest of season rankings, pivots. Where was I wrong? What did I get wrong? What players have maybe just kind of drawn the short straw and they can do what I thought they were going to do the rest of the season. There was just injuries or COVID or other reasons that hampered them in these first 5 games. Remember, it's only 5 games, so a lot of things can change, especially for guys like rookie running backs and so on. Don't count them all out too soon. That's it. We got in under 13 minutes, guys. Thanks. Go ahead and let me know if this video version is valuable to you. If you like it, give me a comment, give me a like, subscribe. Thank you, everybody. Hit me up, follow on Twitter at FusionFFB. Check out the website, FusionFFB.com. I'll have links to these videos, podcasts, other resources like the Toilet to Titles guys, all that stuff. See you guys next time.